explains a lot. This explains why Zimbabweans are not united. Zimbabweans abroad are not united because, first of all, they're trying to hide their identity. Explains a lot. This explains why Zimbabweans are not united. Zimbabweans abroad are not united because, first of all, they're trying to hide their identity. Also, Zika non-Zorim Zimbabwean, and then you're not going to help a Zimbabwean. You're not going to associate yourself with Zimbabweans. You're not going to share ideas. You're not going to support a fellow Zimbabwean because you yourself don't want to be known to you as Zimbabwean. We are not going anywhere as a country if we keep having these people, if we have this mindset, then we're not going anywhere as a country. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's sad.
So I was dating this Zimbabwean guy, right? He is based in Cape Town. He is doing extremely well for himself. I am more extreme with foreign guys, especially when they ask me out. Tell me why this guy told me that he is from Limpopo. Like, he wanted to incorporate Zimbabwe into Limpopo. Listen, I know that we have ancestry of Zimbabweans in Limpopo, right? That is not even the problem because these borders were created by white people, right? And also there are some people in Limpopo who speak Sindebele, right? And other South African languages as their native languages. So he also kept saying that my mom is South African and my dad is Shona. It did not end due to the fact that he was hiding his own identity. I was aware that he was. It ended due to the fact that I was not even ready for a relationship. I knew that before, and I knew that after I left him. But one thing that struck out to me is that even in his success, he is clinging on to South Africa, you know? The sad thing is that he is not the only one. Many Zimbabweans, even those that I come across and I have no personal relationship with, they don't even want to identify as Zimbabwean. What these white people did to them is so bad that it came to the fact that they are not even proud to be Zimbabwean. They don't want the stigma that's attached to Zimbabwe to be placed upon them as individuals. This is why Zimbabweans, of all people in the southern region, they're the ones to literally just watch one burned and do nothing. Because tell me why, how could you be ashamed like this? I do understand the xenophobia in South Africa sometimes gets to you and you don't want to be associated with that, but be proud of who you are. I remember also going to Joburg one time and they accused me of being a foreigner, and I was like, yeah, now what? And they wanted to see my ID, and then I was like, what does that prove? You know, well, we prove like, I don't go around with my ID all the time. It's not necessary. I only carry it when I have things to do. So I'm not gonna show a bunch of strangers my ID for in. And why are you searching me like that? Like I'm some kind of stranger. So I'm not gonna show you that. Part of me feels sad for them. It genuinely does, because you can never really fully explore yourself as a human being when you do that. The problem with Zimbabweans is that they don't fight back home. What they did to them is like they've given up hope and that they're leaving home. And also, I'm not going to tell them to go back home. It's something that you need to have as an internal voice within. Because with our problems, we don't even own the land. And telling people to just go back to their countries is just an piece of advice. I would never do that. Because I understand who owns the land in this country. We are just as much tenants in this country. We are literally renting out our piece ourselves. The fact that Zimbabweans still own their land, you haven't lost anything. You haven't lost hope. Most of you want to die in foreign countries without taking that money home so that individually you can build your communities, individually you can build yourselves. You left it there to prove white people a point that you cannot sustain without them. And every time they use Zimbabwe to mock, it will be like Zimbabwe, as though we don't know that Boeta destabilized Zimbabwe alongside with the apartheid system. And everything that is happening is so that they can gain free labor from Zimbabwe to South Africa. So I'm not even blaming them. I'm saying fight in your country. Fight for your own identity as Zimbabweans. That's it.